All right. No, we're missing, it seems like half the group, but appreciate all y'all getting on. So want to talk to y'all. I know as of Team Unleashed, a lot of people are new. We have, I want to see what I can do to help you guys step up more individually as agents. Seemed like we had we only had two or three people actually do double digits in sales last month, over 10 grand, which is sad. That means everyone's doing less than $2,500 a week, which means to tell me that I'm doing a poor job of helping y'all, because I did 57,000 and it hurts me to see that the rest of my team's doing less than 10. That means there's some disconnect, and I want to help y'all to get to a different level, because I know if I can do it, each and every one of y'all can. So a few things I want to talk about is, and I train on this at the office, but so some of y'all that are here in Louisiana, it's kind of going to be a little redundant, but after y'all do your setup in your home and explain to clients that you work with so many carriers, if you're running into missed opportunities for sales, I really think the company average is like 40% on closing, which I think is just really low. So I feel like if you're setting the appointments and sitting down with people, there's something we're not doing in the home to miss sales. So I feel like if there's objections you're running into, like I need to think about it, or the spouse isn't there, then these are things that you can control, we can fix. If it's, they need to shop around, there's things we can say to kind of overcome some objections so you don't run into things. But one of the things y'all need to let people know is that you work with a ton of carriers, whether you have 6 or you have 60, so that if you go to write them with somebody and they get declined, you can pivot to someone else. I know a lot of agents, at least that I've talked to, they'll write a policy and say America and it kicks out, and then they lose all credibility, and then the client gets frustrated and they don't pivot to get them something else. So you kind of have to set that up, that, hey, we're gonna apply here. If this coverage doesn't go through, we have other carriers, so we're gonna find something that works for you today. That's what I always tell people. We're gonna do an application and get you covered today. That's taking the assumption that they're gonna do business with me. I say this up front. We're doing an application, get you approved for coverage today. Whatever I'm doing, instant life leads, final expense, mortgage, whatever, so that I've already told them up front what we're doing. We're doing business. I'm assuming that that's what they want. So if the first carrier I go through kicks out, I say, well, that's why I work with a number of carriers. We're going to take a look at someone else and find something that's comparable in price, and then just pivot. Don't make a big deal of it. But a lot of y'all that are missing that, you got to establish up front. I work with a ton of carriers, so we're going to find which one works best for you, and then just pivot to another carrier. Another thing is that I think will help is finding the money. Rob, you're really good at this because of the tax firm working there. But for everybody, if you're struggling with that, ask more questions. Find out what the people bring in monthly. As simple as, hey, what do you do for a living? Oh, I work in carpentry. Okay. On an average month, what is your take home from that? Okay. You're saying it in a transition that's very, very calm and easy. But when you're asking them what they bring in, what they do for a living, what they bring home, that's going to give you an idea on what you're working with. And then I like to find out what their assets are. And I got this from working with Rob at the tax firm, but I like to find out what assets they have so I can use that as for two things. It tells me if there's any money I can help them with on an annuity, if they have any retirement that we can help protect, but it also tells me what assets they have for reasons of why they won't get insurance. If they have land or cars or investments or whatever, and I don't find this out, that's more reason why they may not get insurance, because they think they have a safety net within these assets. Does that make sense? So if they have a rental house or car or something, they go, well, I don't need insurance because something happens to my husband over here, we'll just sell that rental house. You need to find out what assets they have and dig a little bit by saying things such as, if something happens and you lost your job or you got sick and disability didn't pay out or whatever, what assets do you have to supplement income? As simple as that. What assets do you have? It could be if you lost your job tomorrow, what do you have to lean on to bring in income for your family? And then you just you start leading that. Do you have rental property, investments, cars, money market, CDs, IRAs, 401ks, land, anything like that? And by doing so, then you're going to be able to find out what they have. Then you find out what that's worth. And then you can kind of start picking that apart as that's not a safety net for them to lean on. Oh, it took you too long to sell that land. Or do you really want to get rid of that car that your daddy left you, whatever, and you start finding out what they do have. And then by doing that, you can even find out what they have in the bank. Okay, how much do you think roughly you have, Gage Corson, in your savings checking account? Is that enough that would float you for 6 months? Whatever, and I get an idea of what they think they have. I got about $4,000 in the bank. Well, then they tell me they bring in, let's say, $4,000 a month. I'm like, well, that's only going to cover you for 1 month of income. What are you going to do after that? I'm starting to discredit what they have, but also I find where they have money so they can afford to get coverage from me today. Hope that makes sense. And I also like when I find out what they bring in monthly, I also give them to give me a ballpark of what they're spending. If Lacey tells me she brings in $5,000 a month and she says I'm spending, I'm like, well, do you know, at the end of the month, what do your bills run you at? It runs me about, $4,300 a month. She's got $700 a month roughly. So when I go to try to quote her for insurance, I just found out that she's got $700 that she can afford to spend $100, $200, $300 on insurance. And then she can't tell me that she can't because she just told me what she has availability.
Keith, just one quick one-liner that I really like is, hey, after your how much income are you making a month? Oh, $4,500, $4,200, $3,000. Oh, I'm just on disability, $1,200. Okay, perfect. Like after your expenses every single month, like I know this is a really tough question, but after your expenses every single month, like how much money is left over? Like how much are you saving? Like gas in the car, food on the table, like how much money is left over? They're gonna laugh, they're gonna say nothing. And then you just say, no, seriously, like it's different for everybody, but what is it? Some people will say 500, some people will say 50. And that's kind of where where your budget lies with them and your premium. So that's just one good one-liner question that I use.
No, that's good. And I also think, I love that. Thanks, Gage. It's also when I'm telling them, you want to be less invasive. So you're asking these questions because then I always look at say, well, I have to determine if it's even something you need, or how much coverage is needed for your family, because you may have other assets to pay off besides your funeral or your house or whatever. So I'm building value to find out what they need to cover in the event something happens to them. But also I'm trying to determine your eligibility to see if it's even something you can afford or you need. And I'll tell them that. And then they say, all right, well, I have X amount left over. I was telling Lacey and a couple people in the office today, I had a client that was paying $1,500 on a mortgage. By talking to them, they told me that they did a refinance, and I asked them what their old mortgage payment was, and they said $1,500. Now their mortgage payment's $800. So now they have $700 left over a month because their house payment. So that right there, I just found $700. So it's easier for me to be able to justify a premium that they need to afford because I just uncovered they have the ability to pay it. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's see. So yeah, just asking more questions on that. Again, you got to kill the assets. If you're asking them what they have to protect their family or to lean on in the event that something happens, whether it's final expense, instant internet life leads, mortgage, whatever you're running, Facebook leads, you want to find out what they have that acts as insurance, because that's going to tell you, what they need to pay off or whatnot. So you can justify more bigger premiums, but also you can pick apart those assets for reason to why they need the insurance. So again, you don't want to sell that motorcycle you have, Rob, or you don't want to have to get rid of your second house or whatever, your rental property. How long would it take to do that? So that it helps you to kind of maximize. Does that make sense? Is people follow me on this?
Yep.
Yes. No. Yeah. Okay. That's going to help you to build bigger value. And I was telling some people today, when Rob and I worked in the tax industry, you had to get premiums from people. You had to get a retainer fee to earn our business for the company we worked for, but you also had a monthly fee they had to pay to stay on the books. And those monthly fees were 300, 400, 500 and up that people had to pay monthly to afford our representation of the tax firm to keep the IRS from seizing their bank account or whatnot. And so people will find the money. They'll spend it somewhere, and so I go to some hood rat places. I go to some wealthy places, but at the end of the day, people have money. We're just going to find where they're going to spend it on. If I build the value enough, hopefully they're spending on the insurance. That's really it on that, guys. I really want to talk to y'all about how to get y'all to a next level personally, because I know I have your goals from a lot of y'all, and I find that February was a short month. We also had annual convention, so there was a week out of there people weren't running. But looking at this group, and there's so much talent with people here that I know you guys want to make a lot of money and help a lot of families, but I want to know how I can help you with that individually. So I would like, not after this call, but you can shoot me a text or something. I'd like to talk to some of y'all more on a personal level on what to do to get you doing more than 10 grand a month or 20 grand a month or whatever your goals are. I want to find out how we can maximize your potential, and we need to talk on an individual basis. A lot of y'all don't reach out enough because y'all think I'm too busy, which I'm not. But y'all can follow up with me and we can coordinate to talk about a game plan, whether it's a lead strategy, which Will did that with me today. We're looking at some different lead sources that he could pick up because he has some more cash flow. He wants to invest into different lead sources. If it's your calendar, your schedule, whatever it is, I want to talk to you about how to get y'all better so that you're growing, that you're not just running through the motions, because all of us, including myself, have a lot of room we can grow to get better. And I've been here for a little while. I feel like I can help some of y'all get to the next level for yourself, because I don't want to see anybody on this call struggling. Anyone on our team, I don't want to see anybody here not making, well more than they need. So everyone here should be making six figures, multiple six figures, and I'm gonna help you get there. So with that said, y'all have any questions? Because I want to leave this open for about 10, 15 minutes on just questions in general that might help each other, help the team. If you have something you want to know about, go ahead and unmute if you got something you want to ask or say. Nobody's got any questions? Everyone knows it all? Everyone's good?
I don't know anything, Keith. I need more info. My problem, Keith, and I'll tell the whole group this up front. My discipline sucks bad. I made that statement Monday to Cody. My accountability is horrible. That's why I sent you the text I sent you today. I want you to be able to see the time that I'm spending so that I have to answer to not spending the right amount of time. So
why don't we do this? Why don't we do this for you or anyone that wants to? Why not on dial days, you screenshot at the end of the day your schedule, whether you have 4 appointments, no appointments, 15 appointments, whatnot, because then that's going to help us to hold each other accountable. If you look at the calendar and it's not where you want to be, you're definitely going to want to work harder so you don't disappoint. But also, I can look at it and then we can figure out what's going on. Either you didn't have enough leads, you didn't dial enough, whatever. But anyone that wants to do that, Gage included, Sean, Christian, anyone from Blueprint, anyone from Unleashed that's on this call, we can on dial days, if y'all want to do that, we go ahead and screenshot our calendar of what you got going on. Would that help, Rivers?
Yeah, that'll help me. Again, it'll add a layer of accountability in there for me. So I'll accept that for sure.
All right. Well, anyone that wants to do that, I'd love y'all to do that. Send me a text or send Nicolette a screenshot, and then likewise, we can hold each other accountable so we can make sure everyone's maximizing their potential, and then we can talk about it. I'm not here to judge. So if you feel like you got one appointment, then let's figure that out. And I'll go, all right, well, Rivers, why do you only have one appointment? How's your lead flow looking? And then we can kind of start working amongst that to kind of get out of that to get you better for everybody. That's how we're going to grow, guys. It's just, if you have a humble attitude about it, I suck so bad on so many things. That's why I have to have people like my wife and Nicolette and other people in this company help me because I'm terrible at so many different things. But there's a lot I have to learn and get better at, including running a business myself. But the only way we get better is just is looking for help and reaching up. So I'd love you to do that, Rivers, and anybody else. When you on Thursdays and Mondays, send in your schedule. That'll help. Some accountability right there. What else we got? I thought I saw Lakeisha unmuted, was going to say something a minute ago. Maybe I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
I definitely need some one-on-one time. That little bit that I spoke to you on the phone, that helped me because I
Okay.
was still scared, even the phone, going to the house. But I guess after I used your script, it worked. And then I don't know, it just kind of pumped me up and boosted me up a little bit. But just any advice, I mean, just any advice, because I have a couple of tomorrow that I'm nervous about, and just kind of, like I say, any one-on-one time with you would help. And I know you said one day you may do the training here, even for the Zoom, just to touch some product stuff. Because
I need to do that. I think if I do that, because the ones that aren't here in the office don't get to see that. I do training on a dry erase board, and some of it's redundant for the people in the Louisiana office. But I think if I do that, we can ask questions. We can definitely look at doing that.
Yeah, because it's so much information. Of course, FFL have so many videos, so many presentations and examples, but it can be a little overwhelming sometimes because it's like you try to get a little bit here and there, but sometimes you just need that one-on-one. Hey, A, B, and C. At least for me, starting off.
And that's what I'm here for you on that. So it's like, a lot of times I tell people just text me on a time, like Rob Co will do that and say, hey man, what time? Do you have some time we can talk later? I'm not in the home right now, but can we talk this afternoon? And then we coordinate a time. Or, Gage will text me throughout the day, and then sometimes we'll talk, and it coordinate, like, because I mean I have my appointments too, and we all have our schedules. But if you're like, hey, can we talk? Do you have time? Like tomorrow, what time is your appointments?
10. My first one is at 10 a.m.
Okay, and you're on Eastern?
Central.
So you're same time I'm at, because right now it's what, 3:21 for you?
Okay, yeah.
So tomorrow, if you want, you can talk to me at 9 in the morning on the way if you want.
Okay, great.
We can talk if you want to do that. I'll pencil it in on my calendar right now.
Thank you.
I have an opening. All right. What else we got, guys?
Oh, one last thing. So I guess I'll talk with you on the phone, just kind of get some more of the scripts that you have, like that you use for his phone, even in home, but definitely phone starting off, because I know each category or each lead has its own. And I had a different type of script, and I wasn't quite sure what this sounds like. Oh my gosh, I just got for mortgage, age mortgage protection. Well, I just got this. So I do need to kind of get with you on like what do you use, or where can I find like just your scripts, at least until I'm able to kind of make it and tweak it my own,
Okay. I'll help you with that. I'd love to, for sure. We got the trainings on the website, but on different videos and stuff, but I'll be happy to kind of help you dial that in. Usually for new agents, you need that anyway, because you can watch the scripts and hear it. But I think it's good to have someone else hear you, and you do like a mock role play type phone script, because then it helps you to kind of tweak your tone, if you will. So we can kind of dial that in. I can tell you, this sounds good. Maybe bring it down here, because a lot of times you don't realize what you could be doing better or worse. Like, you don't know. Like, I didn't know how bad it was until someone pointed it out. Not saying you're bad, but I'm saying we can hear things, and I can help you kind of adjust. You might be talking too fast or too slow, or things like that people you don't pick up on. But sometimes I had an agent do that with me on phone script. We were talking, I was like, you're saying everything right, you're just too fast. You got to slow down a little bit, because you're just talking too fast, and it's hard for older people to process it if you're calling, in that case, final expense. So I can help you with that. What else we got? How's I know Gage, you're heading out to join Sean, is that right?
So I was just at Sean's place. I'm actually going down to Florida, to Orlando, to run some business. I'm pretty much grabbing all my stuff, and then I'm hitting the road next week. So
Well, everyone's wondering why you ain't come to Louisiana. I'm like, dude, he don't like us no more. I pissed him off or something. I don't know. I don't want to come
Hey,
visit.
last time I was out there, I kind of got skunked, but I mean, you guys are also pretty far out of the way, you know. That dirty city's far away.
Well, when am I going to see my dog again? That's all I want to know.
You'll see your daughter in about, you know, your goddaughter in about 2 weeks. Don't worry.
All right, good deal. Well, anybody else have anything they feel like they want to talk about or address? Sean, I want to reach out to you here a little bit about some of the stuff at your office, because I love your cubicle setup. I want to talk to you about that here later, either today or tomorrow. I'll coordinate with you and talk about some stuff at your office that I can implement at my office that you did that looks good. So
yeah, man.
I'm gonna try to get Nicolette here in Louisiana probably in the next week or so, so she can do some more hands-on stuff for our team with me and collaborate on some things. But we will look at doing a live sometime soon where I can do like a Q&A, if you will, and we'll extend this. The Zoom only goes 30 minutes. Nicolette, when we get off this call, let's talk, and so we can go ahead and pay to have that unlimited time on the Zoom calls in the future, so we're not capped. But I'll be happy to do like a Q&A with you guys on final expense, in-home, whatever, and we can start doing that on these Zoom calls, and y'all can ask questions about what next or what's the approach, because the system works, guys, and like I feel like most people we see, like I come across arrogant or cocky or whatever sometimes, but I assume the client's doing business with me, and the system works. So if you set it up right, I find that most of these people are buyers if you do your in-home properly. And my in-home may not work for you, but you might take something out of it that you like, and then you might have something to add that might be better, but I feel like we can learn together on what's the right questions and things to do. So Rob, what are you doing, bro? Rob, you're muted, so I don't know what you're doing. I still can't hear you. You're still muted, Rob.
I'm Facebook Marketplace and picking something up at somebody's porch.
Okay. I was like, what's going on? What were you gonna ask, Gage?
Keith, I have one new guy on here, Mount Salt Lake City. He just started with us. Today is his first out day. He got 5 appointments this morning. He's got about 55, 60 instant internet life leads. I just want to kind of, there was something I was going to ask you in the beginning of the call, but I completely forgot. I know I should have written it down. But just any piece of advice, man, for his first day. He's from the door-to-door industry. Sitting in homes isn't going to be a problem for him, but you're really strong on the phones, really, really strong. And that's why, I always reached out to you in the past. So maybe there's something that you could give him as a tip that everybody can kind of take a good golden nugget out of.
First off, if he's got 5 out of 60 on instant internet life leads, that's pretty good, especially first go around, because you're usually booking about 1 out of 10, maybe 2 out of 12 on average. That's the company average. So you're right around these statistics roughly on that right now. So I commend you on that for that. I think really your tone, you have to be assertive. You have to be like business, but don't book appointments just to book appointments. You got to be like, hey, I'm in your area. You're busy. You have to come across as you're busy, but you're also, I think tone is everything. You got to be smooth and structured, but not nervous on the phone. I think that if I'm calling them hey, Sean, this is Keith. I had some paperwork that came into my office that from this property at, 8323 Jeanette Street that you inquired about, or someone from your household inquired about the insurance. I'm the field underwriter assigned to get you the information. I'm a broker in the local area. I work with a ton of carriers, but they have me dispatched out in your area Friday and Saturday. I just need to set up a time to come by to review your coverage options with you and keep it pretty cut and dry. But your tone, I think, is really important on how you say it. So that's it, and to actually work with somebody, let Gage or someone else hear you, or anybody on here. I think when you're dialing, You want to let someone hear you so they can find out how you sound, so they can critique you and give you some pointers to see if it sounds smooth or see if you sound jumpy or whatnot. Because once your tone and your script is dialed in, then you're confident of what you're saying, and then that's going to help you really to book more appointments. But Lacey, you kept raising your hand or something. So what's up?
Who's doing ZipRecruiter? Anyone? No?
Nope.
All right, never mind. Nicolette?
We're not doing it now, but we might. Why?
Yeah, I just got the quotes on it. I got a quote on what it would run us at. I gave you that this morning, Lace.
All right, well, I want to get on that.
Okay.
So,
I've used ZipRecruiter quite extensively, so I can help you with that.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
Side
got
note,
any
super
questions
happy
I can
you're
talk-
moving down to Louisiana.
Huh?
I said I'm super happy you're moving down to Louisiana.
I'm not moving there. I'm
Hey,
coming for a visit.
hey, Lace. We haven't convinced her yet. Hold up. She's not supposed to know that yet.
Who's picking?
Anybody else got anything? Because I know our time is going to be cut short. Sean, I'm going to be in touch with you soon. Lakeisha, I got you on my calendar for tomorrow. If anybody needs me, just like Gage reaches out to me, he does a good job about texting or calling me. Some of y'all do that. Y'all can reach out, like text me or call me. If you need to talk to me right away, call me twice. If you don't have my number, it's 843-478-4646, 843 area code 478-4646. If you need me, call me twice. Or you can text me and we can talk, schedule a time to talk in the future. Okay. Otherwise, let's get you guys to the next level, because I know everyone on this call is capable to be doing, Gage Corson type numbers, putting up $50,000 and stuff. So let's get y'all there. Gage, what you talking about? I seen you do 55, man, in a month. What are you talking about? Let's get you back doing that too.
Like I said, I changed the contact in my phone to for you to Mr. 7K a day.
On Zoom call. 7K a day. Well, that's the goal. I try to do 5 to 10 grand a day. So 7 gets me right kind of where I'd like to be. But if y'all need anything, reach out. I'm proud of you all. Glad you guys are on the call. And hopefully we talk more so we can get you guys up and running where you need to be. So appreciate y'all. Y'all go kill it on the phones, and y'all have a good rest of your day. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Keith.
Bye, everybody.